In April 2022, Thompson and actor Christina Evangeline announced that they were getting divorced. The couple was married for 11 years and shared 2 daughters. An insider told Us Weekly they really just grew apart and wanted different things. There's nothing juicy about why they split. The couple reportedly separated at the end of 2020, but Thompson was still talking about Evangeline as if they were together when he spoke to Parade in January 2022. At the time, he was busy promoting his show, Kenan.
So back in 2022, Kenan divorced his wife, which at the time, I thought that was so strange because these two got 2 kids together. They seemed like they were a happy family, and for some reason, he decided to leave his wife. Now, the two separated in 2020 in quarantine because, that was a time where you had to really be around your partner. So if you didn't really like the person that you're with around that time, it would have got exposed. So for whatever strange reason, he left his wife, and he never disclosed the reason because he didn't want to tarnish his wife's image. That's how much of a good man he really is, right? And as time went on, she eventually stopped messing with his castmate. So think about that, right? He left his wife for whatever reason. Then after he left his wife, then she started messing with his castmate. And this is why, as men, we got to be careful who we bring around our family. But then again, my logic is this. As a man, you should be comfortable to bring your wife around anybody. Now, I'm not going to focus too much on the fact that his castmate smashed his wife. It's very low down of him for sure. But my main focus is the fact that his wife smashed his castmate. To me, that's the real issue because that's the mother of his kids. His castmate is just his castmate. All right. So the woman that he trusted, the mother of his kids, he got 2 kids by her. And this is why I tell you all dudes, bro, after the second kid, that's the time when a bird usually return back to the streets. That's just usually the time frame when a chick moves around from a guy that she perceives to be a sucker. She's going to have 2 kids with him. So she's going to be good off the child support, and just financially having 2 kids with a provider is going to set a woman up for the future. And after she has those 2 kids, that's the time to get back to the streets. And like I said, right after that, she stopped messing with his castmate.
So I wanted to address something that's kind of this, I guess, been around for a long time, 4 or 5 years now. And, but I've never addressed it. I know a lot of people talk about me dating Kenan Thompson's ex-wife, and how that came to be, And I'm gonna just tell it to you straight, man. It wasn't no plan. I saw everything that everybody said. Every single thing that everybody said, I saw it, And the bottom line is, I'm not the type of person to scheme on a person. I'm not the type of person to even date somebody that like one of my homies has dated. This is a very unique, nuanced thing that happened. We were all cool. I was never like hitting on. It was never nothing crazy until it got crazy. Bottom line is, I while I was at the show, I had some pill issues, I had some pill problems. Nothing too crazy, but crazy for my black ass, And, I was even selling some to the people, so some of my castmates. I'm not gonna snitch on y'all motherfuckers, man. But it was really funny to me that I would be around on this shit, and people would talk shit about it and talk shit about me, and I would hear them because some of that Adderall shit got you fucking super hearing and shit. But wouldn't help me, I would have panic attacks, wouldn't be concerned about me or nothing, just would talk shit, and it was crazy how somebody would watch you destroy yourself, This lady was the only one, to call me on my shit, help me with my shit. She helped me with my therapy journey, and she told me things about her life that made me look at a lot of people involved in it differently, and in that time, we fell in love, man.
What?
I felt bad from the start. It's always felt like an emotional double-edged sword for me because I really love everything me and Kenan did, bro. I really appreciated every piece of work that we put together. I think that we were a great team, and I hate doing something to somebody that I know would hurt them. No matter who they are, no matter what they've done, you know, that's just not how I'm built. Like, I'm not built like that. I don't feel player for this shit at all, you know? But I did choose love. And that's what this story is. And, you know, it made me look terrible. You know, it made me look terrible to people that I love. And, you know, a lot of my fans. So I didn't know how to do this without doing this. I'm in therapy, nigga. So, like, ever since I figured out that I'm more sad than angry, all my anger issues have turned into tears, nigga. Like, it's crazy, bro. But
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care. Jerry.
you know, to all the fans, I disappointed. You know what I mean? Like, just know this was not something. I don't feel like a pimp. I don't feel like a pimp.
What are you saying? What are you saying? What is he saying?
I don't feel cool about this at all. Besides the fact that I found someone that makes me feel like I didn't even know what love was for real. And I just felt like I couldn't miss out on it. And love is not sensical. And me and him talked about it. And I'm not going to say, and we were cool and we continued to work for a year after we talked about it, you know, and I remember it specifically being said, you know what, let's just keep this shit under wraps. And as soon as everybody found out, shit changed. But look, listen, this is the type of thing that, and you can have a conversation with a nigga about that shit, but she can switch on a dime. You know what I'm saying? Like, because this is so serious. And now that I'm in that kind of love, I understand, you know, I understand it completely. You know, I felt like there's probably, outside of not doing this at all, there's different ways I could have went about this shit, you know, and, but I was in love and I was, you know, and I was spiraling out, bro. And that's what happened. And then by the time everybody found out and the world found out, I was out of there from SNL, you know? And so when I got punched in the face, which we will have jokes about that for sure at the show, most people who know me from back home would know that, you know, I would be retaliating in a heartbeat, but not this time, bro. This time it felt like fair enough. Anyway, this wasn't meant for laughs. It's just meant for me to just put some narrative on something that a lot of folks is already talking about, but won't bring it up to me at all, you know. I'm sorry for the people I disappointed with this. Just know it wasn't to be a dick. It felt like a love I couldn't miss out on it, and I had to shoot for it. And I've never put anything above my comedy and my work. But I felt like I couldn't move on to the next stage of this creatively without addressing this. So if you don't like seeing grown men cry about hard.
This right here is just sad, bro. And it just shows how much of a sucker this guy is. Because fellas, one thing you should never do is let your thirst trump your integrity as a man. Your integrity should come first. So if your homie girl is coming on to you, you shouldn't give in to that. Because if you respect yourself, you can't really respect her actions. But when a man is thirst, he will go for anything. He don't care that she's disrespecting her husband or her ex-husband. He's just happy to get a chick that looks like her. And I'm not quite sure if this chick is Caucasian or Spanish. Regardless of whoever she is, in these guys' eyes, she's the prize. So she was just around Kenan, and I guess she also built a relationship with his castmate. So she was just there getting mad friendly and pretty much using these dudes to the point that she probably dismantled their friendship. One, because she's a bird. Two, because the castmate is a weak man. When a man is weak, he don't think about his actions. All he's thinking about is, man, this little red bone is on me. That's sucker shit, bro. Now he's making a video like this, crying, and I'm pretty sure it's simply because she probably left him. Because he probably thought that she liked him for real. And the whole time, it was just in her nature, brother. Fellas, it's not cool to smash your castmate, your homie, your best friend, your pal, your coworker, wife. That's never a cool thing. Because based on the fact that this happened, it makes you wonder if Kenan's wife was either smashing his castmate or somebody else for him to file for divorce. It's a very sad situation, man. But fellas, what you all could learn from this is pretty simple. In life, never lead with your wallet. If you do, you will attract a bird. A bird is not wifey material. She don't possess the traits to be a wife, and the only thing that she's going to do is use you and return back to the streets. Now, the good thing about this situation, Kenan was the one who walked away. He did the right thing, and I do applaud him for doing that. But wherever a bird goes, she will cause destruction. She will cause chaos. And that's exactly what this woman did with these two men. This is why no matter how hard you try, brother, you can't save a bird. And to me, this guy crying in the video, Chris Red, dog, you're just the worst type of men out there. Nothing is worse than, like a weak dude, bro, like who ain't got the strength to like say no to a woman that he feels like, yo, this is the best I could ever do. Shit, I can't say no to her. Like, I would go against everybody for her. That's the most sucker shit a man could do, bro. But please leave your thoughts in the comments. Fellas, be wise out here, man. I'm out.
If you haven't yet, go get you some of that merch. You all already know, don't feed the birds. That's what it is. We don't feed the birds over here. So if you rock with your boy, go get you some of that good merch.